Rohan!
Oh, hello there. It does appear that you've caught me here at Knockout's repair table.
He's a glutton for punishment.
For Ratchet's repair bay.
Then watch a master at work.
I am in the middle of maintaining some of my older Generation 1 figures.
I take it Lord Megatron requires a laboratory assist?
As I'm sure all of you are up to these days. Well, since we're here, why don't we talk about a little bit of maintenance that we all have to do on our bots these days, especially the older ones. For those of you like me who've been collecting for 35 plus years, and also for those of you who are newer into Transformers and have some of the sort of later characters from the Unicron trilogies or that sort of era who've now been on shelves for a long period of time as well, 20 years next year for Armada I believe it is. They also need some maintenance.
You know the worst part? After battling cons all these years, getting smacked down, shot at, blown up, this is how our lights go out?
And there's an absolute array of different tools you can use to help continually look after your bots.
I've done plenty of bodywork, Starscream, but I'm better at breaking them than fixing them.
Ranging from just the simple cleaning tools like makeup brushes. These are great for just getting off surface dust and getting into the nooks and crannies, the crevices of where bots have been sat for a while on a shelf and not had a chance to breathe.
Don't touch, just watch and learn.
And they come in different sizes, so just go and steal these off your partners or whatever, buy them from the £1 shop. You can also utilise cotton buds to get into those sticky areas where bits and pieces may have built up over time.
Buff this!
And from a cleaning perspective, if you're looking at figures not Generation 1, but figures from later series which don't have stickers, then I recommend these baby wipes, which have no alcohol in them, water-based wipes, which would be great for taking off layered dust and other elements that have stuck to your figures over time.
Hey, watch the paint!
What I would say is that be careful with stickers because obviously they can ruin those. And a little cloth for cleaning bits and pieces up. Other bits you can do to try and help fix your bots or look after them. For those which have been heavily weathered by the sun and yellowing over the years, white spirit or alcohol rubs can be useful, or there are other techniques where you can put them out in the sun again and actually look at them coming back to life again.
Without my supervision? You want them to be right, don't you?
WD-40 is an obvious one for those creaky joints which aren't going to play ball. And of course you've got your standard tools for disassembling and reassembling broken screws and parts which have come apart, let's be honest.
Do you know how hard that is to replace?
And I've had to put together or take apart a few screws over the last few weeks, months, years, as certain bots, newer ones, even come with deficiencies, especially those from Hasbro with QC issues and third-party ones as well.
Knockouts, if you would be so kind as to provide your expert medical opinion to Soundwave for the historical record.
Simply put, unaided, Megatron could remain in this deathless slumber forever.
And then that brings me to a few random bits. First of all, the trusty penknife. Don't go anywhere without it. It brings you so much flexibility in what you can achieve with your bots. And especially when you're doing any kind of modding, then it's good for cutting out little bits and pieces of plastic which you don't need when you're moving ahead from one bot to another, that sort of thing.
What in the Allspark is going on in here?
And some people swear by some sort of jelly to be able to provide the renewed stiffness in their joints that Alexis loves to hear about. I think he's got some specific product from the States.
Actually, that was an accident I had with Ratchet's blowtorch.
I tend to just use the Mrs.'s nail polish. They recommend you use clear nail polish for obvious reasons, or you can also use varnish, which will help your joints, ball joints especially, to have renewed stiffness in them. And the very last thing, something I probably should get Andy for Christmas or his birthday, is a Spudger set. Never leave home without one. They are absolute gold, especially for those very tight joints or those areas which you just can't pry out with your fingers.
There is no need to get yourself all worked up, Throb.
And especially so because the plastic on some of these is quite hard and durable, but even so, some joints can be very, very difficult to actually get free. So there are metal ones as well, metal pry bars, and there are very, very thin points to push through into pins and the such like.
Do not worry. Your punishment shall be merely cosmetic.
No, not the finish. No. Anything but the finish!
And of course, cleaning utensils and screwdrivers and so on and so forth. So these are my tips for helping you to maintain your bots, like Shockwave here. He's not perfect, but he's still in good shape, and a little bit of maintenance every couple of years doesn't hurt to keep him in top form.
Miserable glitches!
I hope that's been entertaining and helpful for you, and I hope to see you again next week on Rohan's Corner. What do you guys on the show do to maintain your bots, other than not knock them over? Back to the studio.
Don't worry. I'll be back, my dear little Trindles. I promise you that.
Hey boys, who ain't been rumbled? Well, let's bounce.